So what's the one thing that connects a classic car from 1948 to a silent, all-electric supercar of today? Well, for Porsche, it's a single, powerful idea, a kind of golden thread of philosophy that has guided every single car they've ever made. Let's dive in and trace that thread, from the very beginning all the way to its electric future. And it all starts right here. Now, this isn't just some clever marketing slogan. This is the real deal, the founding principle. Ferdinand Porsche wasn't trying to fill a gap in the market or just build another car. Nope. He was on a personal mission to build the perfect sports car for himself, and that one single idea would end up defining the very soul of the brand for almost a century. So what is this philosophy we're talking about? It's really this. The way a car looks is decided by what it needs to do. Performance isn't just about brute force. It's about smart, relentless, and sometimes kind of weird engineering. And when you put that all together, you get something pure, something timeless. This is the idea we're going to be tracking today.
All right, to really see this philosophy in action, we've got to go back, way back. We're heading to post-war Germany, a time of rebuilding and fresh ideas, where the first seeds of what would become a global icon were planted.
And the evolution? Man, it was fast. I mean, really fast. In 1948, the very first Porsche, the 356, rolls out of a tiny workshop. Just 16 years later, that's it. In 1964, the car that would become maybe the most recognizable sports car on the planet, the 911, makes its big debut.
And the link between these two cars is absolutely key. The 356 on the left was the proof of concept. It showed the world that a small, lightweight, rear-engine car could be a serious, world-class machine. So the 911 wasn't some radical new idea. It was the perfection of that exact same formula, just turning every dial up and wrapping it in a design so perfect, so timeless, it's barely changed since.
Okay, so once the formula was perfected, Porsche moved into a whole new phase. This wasn't just about building amazing sports cars anymore. It was about using that core philosophy to build vehicles that would completely reset the bar for what was technologically possible. And this era gave us what car nerds call technological benchmarks. Cars like the legendary 959 and, later on, the Carrera GT. These weren't just built to be fast. They were built to be the most advanced cars on Earth, basically rolling laboratories for innovations that, we see in our everyday cars now. What about this number? 197 miles per hour. Let that sink in for a second. That was the top speed of the Porsche 959 back in 1986. That number alone made it the fastest street-legal car you could buy anywhere on the planet. Talk about a commitment to performance. But here's the crucial thing. That incredible speed was just the result. The real story was the tech packed inside. We're talking computer-controlled all-wheel drive for insane grip, sequential twin turbos that got rid of any lag, even tire pressure sensors. Stuff that was pure science fiction in the 80s is now standard. The 959 wasn't just fast, it was a literal glimpse into the future. Which brings us to today and maybe the biggest challenge the Porsche philosophy has ever faced, the electric revolution. With the roar of the combustion engine starting to fade, a huge question came up. Can a silent car actually have a Porsche soul?
I mean, this is the real tension at the heart of the brand right now. For a company defined by the sound, the feeling, the vibration of a finely tuned engine, can that identity, that pure driving experience, really translate to a world of batteries and electric motors?
Well, Porsche's answer wasn't a half step or a maybe. It was a definitive, powerful statement. And that answer is the all-electric Taycan. This car was engineered from the ground up not just to be a great EV, but to be a great Porsche, period.
And this chart just says it all, doesn't it? When it comes to pure performance, the philosophy is alive and well. The Taycan Turbo S, with that instant electric torque, can actually out-accelerate its iconic gas-powered siblings. So that relentless pursuit of performance hasn't just survived. In some ways, it's been supercharged. It's the same spirit of innovation we saw in the 959, just pointed at a new frontier.
So where do they go from here? Looking ahead, say to 2050, Porsche isn't just putting all its chips on one number. They're engineering a future that's, well, it's surprisingly complex, embracing both their legendary past and their electric destiny at the same time.
For most car makers, the future seems like a simple choice. Ditch combustion, go all in on electric. But Porsche is asking a different, more interesting question. Does it actually have to be a choice at all? Their strategy seems to be saying no.
And here is that dual-path strategy. It's pretty cool. On one hand, they are pioneering what are called e-fuels. Think of it as synthetic carbon-neutral gasoline.
That means they can keep classic cars like the 911 on the road, but sustainably. And on the other hand, they are aggressively developing the next generation of pure electric cars to define what the future of performance looks like.
So their vision for 2050 is this amazing mix of both worlds. And it's not just talk. They've built concepts like the Mission R, an all-electric super lightweight race car that serves as a real, tangible blueprint, showing us exactly how they plan to transfer that core Porsche DNA into the next generation of cars for both the track and the street. Which brings us right back to where we started. The technology has changed almost beyond recognition, from simple air-cooled engines to crazy advanced battery packs. But that golden thread, that unwavering belief that form follows function to create the purest driving experience possible, it's still there. It's perfectly intact.
So, I'll just leave you with this final thought. Decades from now, in a world where cars are silent, maybe even self-aware, what will the soul of a machine really be? Porsche's betting that it won't be the sound of the engine, but that unwavering philosophy behind the engineering. And you know what? That might just be the most timeless idea of all.